I'll do one more. I created a theme for my BlackBerry 9630 and made no changes to this call screen. However, during a call, if I press numbers while on the call, it's no longer displayed. I'd be interested to having a look at, see what this theme is. So Sprint, if you could send that file to us somehow, that would be great, because I haven't seen that behavior before.
So the next question is, which operating systems does BlackBerry Theme Studio run on? Today, the official supported operating systems are Windows XP and Windows Vista. But as mentioned earlier, please go into the issue track here, and if there's requests for other operating systems, we can look at that in a future release.
Question, how do developers get paid? You will actually get paid through PayPal through our partner Digital River. Keep in mind that it is generally towards the end of the month. I believe it's the 26th of the month, and it would be retroactive, so it will probably be roughly behind by a month.
Pushing themes, does it automatically delete, or do you need to delete the theme? So when you push a theme to your device, it actually keeps the theme on there. So you can actually go into your theme options screen and navigate to whichever one you want. There's a new option in 5.0, which is called Manage Themes under File. You can bring that up, and you can select which files you no longer want and delete them. So you don't have to actually go into your device and delete them one at a time. You go into the Manage Themes option in Theme Builder and select all the themes you don't want on there anymore and delete them. And one more, when a user changes the wallpaper on the Storm theme, it only changes the portrait background. How can it also be changed on the landscape? So if you want to do it separately, there was that link option I was talking about earlier. Just turn that off and go into the landscape screen, and then you can theme them independently of each other.
So this is Mike again. As many of you are probably noticing, we're about 5 minutes away from the end of our scheduled time. Given the huge volume of questions, we've decided to keep going for a little bit longer, so keep them coming.
So next question is, how do I test my themes once they're completed? Do I have to use the original Plasmic simulators? There's actually two ways with BlackBerry Theme Studio. The first is you can actually use the same simulators as used in our other development tools. BlackBerry.com/developers/simulators is where they can be downloaded and connected to work with BlackBerry Theme Studio. The second way is a feature we introduced in version 5.0, which is the ability to push your theme or preview your theme directly on a device. It's as simple as creating your theme, using the push to device command, entering in your device password once it's plugged in by USB, and then watching it on device.
So there's a question around when you submit a theme, if you have, let's say, 6 devices on 3 separate OSs, does that count as one theme? The best way to think about uploading themes is if you have a release for a theme, that would count as one credit. So let's say we release a new device in 6 months, and you have to go and create a new release for that device. That would interpret another credit being removed, so you would be down to 8.
Okay, here's a couple more. What are the possibilities of having more samples included in the next release or a separate download? That's a great idea. We'll definitely do that. There will be a couple more. Is there anything within Theme Builder to differentiate which fonts are included and which ones will be rasterized? So basically, if you have a TrueType font currently, on your system, that font will be rasterized. Any of the BlackBerry fonts that are already on the device will not be rasterized. So that's basically the rule of thumb there.
So there's a question here about availability of simulators for phones such as the BlackBerry Bold 9000 and BlackBerry Curve 8900 smartphones. All of the simulators that are available today are available on blackberry.com/developers/simulators.
Question of how long will my theme remain in App World? Your theme remains in App World. Just to explain some of the functionality, once we've approved your theme for acceptance in App World, we send you an email saying that it's ready for you to push out to App World. You utterly control when you want to post a theme for sale and when you want to take it down.
So some developers might be using web links poorly to promote their website and products. Is there a way for the user to install a theme without those web links in them? Currently, so when the theme's all packaged up, there's no way of actually removing certain items from that theme. Unfortunately, there's not a way to do that.
So the next question is, if I want to create animation in Adobe Flash, are there best practices for importing it into BlackBerry Composer? Currently today, if you go into the BlackBerry Composer User's Guide towards the tail end, there's actually a whole section on best practices for importing and in terms of getting the best results.
Question around the 20% that RIM does keep. Yes, it does cover any other fees that may be incurred by receiving money from PayPal. So that 20% goes towards administration, vetting of the apps, basically anything that falls into our store jurisdiction, I guess you could say, before it gets approved for App World.
I see a bunch of different questions here about, is there Theme Studio available on a Mac? Is Theme Studio available on Linux, BIOS, etc., etc.? So currently no, only Windows is supported for Theme Studio.
There's a number of questions here as well in terms of when future releases of BlackBerry Theme Studio will be coming out and what features will be in there. RIM is currently establishing the roadmap for this product, and we're not commenting this time except for the current release, which is BlackBerry Theme Studio version 5.0.
I see a few people might have missed, so I'm just going to repeat because everyone wants to know. Once I submit my theme, how long is it going to take? And I'll just reiterate that in case some of you did miss it, it does take 8 to 10 days. However, we are working as quick as possible to reduce the amount of time, but do take into consideration that if there's anything wrong with the theme, whether it be non-functional, whether it be issues that when it goes through vetting, we've discovered that it's impaired the functionality of part of the phone. These things unfortunately will add delays. However, I think we do a decent job, not a perfect job. We're trying to get there of working with you very closely to work through these issues and get it out as quickly as possible.
A couple of questions here about custom theming. I've seen home screens that use tabs. You basically create an animation and attach icons to it. Would this be done within Composer? So yes. If you see some of the more advanced themes out there and it doesn't look like Zenner today, then it's more than likely you use Composer in order to create those home screens. Are there any thoughts on animating buttons, icons within Composer without having to open up SVG in the notepad, i.e. sliding docks? So definitely looking into doing that as well.